When I was in Utah, me and a couple of girls had planned on actually running out, going to Walmart, filling a cart full of absolutely everything that we wanted. Anything. Hair dye, razors, makeup, anything, candy, and just walking out. What the fuck were we gonna do with that stuff? What were we gonna do? Take that where? How the hell were we gonna carry all that stuff with us? Drag that around. In a cart. On the run. I was in permanent care and custody of the government. My mom had given me up. I had spent my time in foster homes. Then they switched me to group homes. Then I'd go to Wood Street because I would stop following the rules and run away, and they would send me there. Then I would go back to the group home, then they would send me back to Wood Street, and we did this 9 times before they actually sent me away to Utah. So I kind of knew something was coming. They kept threatening me with something. They did threaten me about this once, but I didn't actually believe they would really do it. But I just kept not going to school, kept running away. Then I started smoking weed and drinking. Then I got myself in some situations. Then I started putting other girls at the group home and some of the youth at risk. So that was one of the other factors that got me there. Most of my teen years, since 12, was locked up on and off in Wood Street Center and group homes. Back to Wood Street Center and group homes, back to Wood Street Center. But my life was really no different than any other typical teenager. We experiment. We're curious. We're growing. We get all kinds of emotions. We don't like authority. And my anxiety was really bad. And with me leaving my mother and my family, I didn't want to go to school. I just didn't. It wasn't my priority. I was tired of every day going to school with fucking anxiety. Day in and day out. It was awful. So my mind just started associating with negative and scary, and I just stopped going altogether. And that was another factor. I was lied to before I went there. They had shown me the website, and the website actually stated specifically that they had horse therapy. You could actually go on rides and stuff, and that you could go on outings. And then there was reviews and stuff that I read. And it wasn't true at all. I never once seen a horse there. There wasn't no horses around there at all. Permanent care and custody of Nova Scotia paid Provo Canyon School $15,000 a month to have me there. And I stayed there for 2 years. Since a young child, I didn't deal with issues, things that would come up. I would push away, I would suppress things, because I wasn't allowed to even bring that up in my household anyway. So I was used to that there, and that's what I don't like. It became normal to me to do that, and then I did the same thing in foster care. Then I did the same thing in group homes. Then I did the same thing when I went to Wood Street. Then I did the same thing when I went to Provo Canyon School. Then I've done the same thing since I've gotten out. So it's a big old journey for me to find contentness and peace. There's a lot of stuff I gotta deal with. I've shoved down for a long time. And it gets overwhelming and depressing. It really does. It ain't no easy task. But they'd say if you sort things out and you talk it out and you get it out, you heal. I'm trying to heal my nervous system. It's time. I only have one life and I'm already 30. And my history has not been the best. So I'm hoping for a better life, a better outcome. I'm trying. I've gotten a little bitter in my life. Somewhere along the way, my sadness turned into a lot of anger. So I'm trying to heal it all. And I spent since 26 years, since I'm 30 now, trying to heal my past, everything. And I don't know if it's helping. No idea. I don't know. I don't know. They say one of the best ways to heal trauma is to find purpose in it. Go out and do something and put it into something. Put that energy into something purposeful. So I'm trying. I never achieved my dreams. None of them. None of them. With anxiety, it's even harder. I was in Wood Street Center at 13. I remember the specific day. It was cloudy. We were in Cyril's classroom on computers, not on internet or anything. We were like playing games and stuff. And I snuck onto the internet. I wasn't supposed to, but I did. And I seen a thing on, it just popped up Florida. And I knew I wanted to go to somewhere warmer, but it came up. In Miami specifically, there was an apartment. And I clicked on the link, and it was an apartment. It was like, I think it was an apartment for rent, but it was in a really, really nice place in Miami. And it's stuck with me ever since that day. 13 years old. And I'm 30 now, and I still have a dream of going to Miami. My dream was to live in Miami, become a dolphin trainer in Key West, travel back from Key West to Miami, live that life. It was like being in foster cares and group homes. I learned to escape, daydreaming, doing whatever I could. And that was an outlet for me, that was an escape, and that was something that I really loved. Like, I loved the idea that my life was going to go in that direction. That was my plan in life. I know 13-year-old me's angry. 30-year-old me's angry that I didn't achieve that. Like, reality sets in, life sets in. Didn't happen yet. I spent majority of my 20s not even enjoying my life, in survival mode completely. So, I've yet to enjoy my life, and it's a downer. That's something that's been really bothering me lately. My dreams are always in the background haunting me. My dreams have changed over time. Definitely haven't been the same. I still want to go. I wish I had seen this video before I went there. I walked in not knowing anything. But I don't want to be a dolphin trainer anymore. So my last summer there, I was doing really good again. I knew I was leaving soon. So it wasn't really worth it to keep doing bad when I could just be doing good and get privileges and keep going like out into the community at times. And I actually went to Moab, Utah. They took me there for 3 days, 2 nights camping in Moab, Utah. And I loved it. I had no idea what I was going into. They kept saying we were going to be going to this certain place with big rocks. That's all I pictured, a place with rocks, and it didn't sound very fun. It's been life-changing for me. That trip has been life-changing. You would think someone that went to Provo Canyon School would never want anything to do with Utah again, and I am dying to get back to Moab. I want to go to Arches National Park and Canyonlands National Park. I've been dying to get back for years now. This time I'd be going back on my own terms, on my own will. They also lied and told me that there was going to be a swimming pool at the girls' campus. I never once seen a swimming pool. I was in the med line one day when I was there, and I seen a girl from another unit literally have locked jaw from her medication she was on. They had her on so many doses it literally locked up her jaw and she couldn't even move it, and they tried to fucking unlock it and they couldn't unlock it, so they were on their way to the hospital to try to get it unlocked. She was absolutely horrified. All she could do was look at me and cry. Tears streaming down her face. She fucking cried. She couldn't do nothing. She was horrified. And all I could do was try to comfort her. And I'm in the fucking lineup and the staff were telling me to not speak. I couldn't believe it. When I got back to Nova Scotia, they put me in another group home in Wellsford, Nova Scotia, called Wellsford House. And it wasn't even 10 days. And I was running up the street going to Berwick. And just not following the rules. I was giving up on that place too. I didn't want to be in that kind of place anymore. I was 18. I was an adult and I shouldn't be there. And yet I was. So I started running away and everything, and I met someone and I ended up signing myself out of care. You wouldn't believe it, but about 2 weeks after I got out of Utah, they put me right back in Wood Street Center at 18. So the second I got out of there, I went right back to the person I met when I was first in Berwick at the group home, and I actually signed myself out of care. And they cut me off of absolutely everything, including all my medication, all my birth control. They kept wanting to dose me up with medication in group homes and when I was in Utah. And the second that I signed myself out and I started to refuse the rules and stuff, they cut me off of that some fast. My social worker kept threatening me. that if I didn't stop, I would be going somewhere else and I'd be locked down. And I actually had a dream that I went there before I actually went there. It was a 16-hour flight from Nova Scotia, Canada to Provo Canyon School, Utah. And then it was 4 hours behind my time. So when I was tired, it was like 10 or 11 at night. Then I had to go backwards, so it was 6 p.m. their time. I had to fucking follow their rules and their structure instead of being able to go to bed. It sucked. I was so tired. For a long time there, we had to do workouts called insanity workouts. And they were mandatory. We had to do them. And sometimes they were over 2 hours long. Way over an hour. Some girls would get right into it, and then some girls hated it. And I hated it sometimes, and then sometimes I loved it. And then I hated it. It was insane. You weren't really allowed to talk about the outside world with the girls. You weren't allowed to talk about our lives. You weren't allowed to. You weren't allowed to relate. Nope. We'd be getting shit if we did.